it all comes down to your mentality, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you sit here and soak in it every day and think, something magically is going to change, it's not going to happen, right? It takes you getting up and you
Amen.
working for something.
Amen, brother. All right, welcome back to Swolemate Athletix podcast number 3. We have a special guest on today, Jake Wright. He is here joining us. We're going to talk a little bit about his transformation, what he's got going on in the gym, and a little bit about everything else. So, Jake, I'm going to let you start by introducing yourself, name, fun fact about yourself, where you came from, just a few things like that.
Got you. So my name's Jacob Wright. I'm originally from Oklahoma. I was born there. Spent about 3 or 4 years there. And then I came over to North Carolina. I've been in Aden pretty much my whole life. And then spent about 5 years in the military and ended up coming back here. I've been here for about a year now. Actually, I'll be a year out of the Marine Corps on September 18th. So
from Oklahoma all the way to the small town of Aden. How did you land on that map dot?
So my dad was originally in the military. He was stationed around and stuff, just here or there.
Right.
And then from there, I moved in with my mom, and she had been in Aden her whole life. And my mom's one of my idols growing up. She was always there all the time and stuff. So kind of followed her there. Went to high school, Aden Grifton, did all that. And then, Aden's always been home. So
hell yeah.
Always feel good here. Definitely going to be getting a change of scenery soon.
Relocating?
Yeah.
Where you going?
Thinking like Florida, Texas. The normal.
I tell him all the time, if I ever leave North Carolina, it's going to be Florida or Texas.
I mean, it's
one of the two.
It's the normal. I mean, that's where everybody's going now. But it's the two states where, nothing crazy is going on. So you really can't complain about them. But
you got a bodybuilding show coming up too?
Yeah. Hopefully stepping on stage on November 19th. All depends on how the body's looking in the next couple weeks,
How are you feeling right now?
I feel fine right now. It's a matter of starting to cut back calories and stuff like that.
You get into that phase where it's time to start cutting?
Within the next week or so, I'll start cutting back calories. Start upping cardio, which is, the hated word in like bodybuilding. But it's one of them things where I've done everything from powerlifting to CrossFit to, now I'm on bodybuilding. And I don't ever do stuff halfway. Right,
balls to the wall.
I'm just straight balls to the wall with
There's
it.
Only one speed.
Yeah, but
speaking of cardio and bodybuilding,
yeah,
this man's trying to juggle running a marathon and not losing half his weight. How's that going for you, buddy?
Good. I haven't lost any weight yet. I'm that guy. I'm him. I'm just eating.
You're that guy.
Yeah. It's hard. It's a tough task. I think it's taken a huge mental toll on me though, because I was just talking to my girlfriend last night. Like physically, like right now I'm fine, but mentally I'm washed, and I gotta be up at 3 a.m. in the morning to run 12 miles before work, and I don't want to do it, but
do you feel like you're losing interest in the marathon, or you feel like you're just getting tired of the daily grind?
No, I'm starting to realize how much of a grind training for a marathon actually is. Like the first 7 weeks was really nothing, but now it's like.
Jake, have you ever done a race?
Yeah, so I give a lot of the credit to David Goggins as like bad as it sounds. But his book, if y'all haven't read it, I'm telling you,
I have not, but I've heard the name.
Can't Hurt Me. It's by David Goggins. It's a book where you read it and it makes you want to run through a wall. It's the reason, I never did like a sanctioned marathon where it was like an actual race, right? But I did 2 marathons just running, and it's one of them things where I necessarily didn't train like you are, right? Which is probably a bad thing, but I ran from Camp Pendleton in California at the time all the way up to, it was like Costa Mesa or something like that. I mean, but it came out to the distance of like a marathon. And the scenery out there is what made me get through it.
I can believe it.
Running down the PCH, which is the Pacific Coast Highway. So you're just running along the beach the whole time. Definitely helps. It's one of them things.
I'm sure it beats running through the woods with all the rattlesnakes and.
Yeah, I mean, I've ran pretty much everywhere. I've ran on the beach barefooted during this training. I've ran through the woods. I've ran on the road. I mean, dirt paths. But I try to stick to just the road or sidewalk or something because that's what I'm gonna be running the marathon on. But yeah, running that marathon or training for the marathon, I definitely in the beginning I did get shin splints really bad, but
that's my problem too.
I guess
there's a lot.
I don't know. I guess I just started stretching properly, or I don't know what it was, but they went away and I don't get them no more. Knock on wood. But I'm just ready for October 22nd so I can stop training for this mess, dude. It's tough.
It'd be worth it in the end, though.
It will. It will. Yeah. But as of right now, I'm never doing another one. But who knows?
Well, speaking of being worth it in the end, let's talk about this transformation that my man Jake has put on.
Man, it's
where I saw that Instagram picture that you have up.
Yeah.
You look like a completely different person.
So I mean, it started out, injuries, and some depression for sure. Definitely took a toll on that between laying in bed for about 6 months and, eating whatever I wanted to eat.
Was this like pre-military?
Yes, this was probably like a year before I got into the Marine Corps.
Gotcha.
I spent 6 months not doing anything and just eating, cheeseburgers, like spaghetti, just
sir.
Whatever I wanted to eat.
Right.
Which I would do it now and I would still be over 300 pounds, right? But I literally woke up one morning and was like, man, this is not how you're supposed to live life. Like, something clicked and I was like, I got to do something. Like, it was to the point where, it's a problem in the U.S. as a whole now, right? You have so many overweight people and you can blame it on a lot of things, but a lot of people don't realize that it's just, it all comes down to your mentality, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you sit here and soak in it every day and think, something magically is going to change, it's not going to happen, right? It takes you getting up and you working for something.
Amen, brother.
But yeah, I ended up getting up to about a peak of about 352.
Wow.
It was rough,
I mean, you're a tall guy. I mean, that's 352. Yeah, that's a big guy.
A lot of weight.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was to the point like walking upstairs, I was out of breath, like just everyday activities. And something changed, I kind of reconnected with my dad, realized he went to the military, stuff like that. And, at the time I was like, it's going to be a new challenge,
right,
joining the military. Yeah. So I did it. I mean, I ended up going into the military at about 260. I got in on a weight waiver because I could do all the physical stuff still. It was just the weight, right? Yeah. But by the end of boot camp, I was at about 200. It was the lowest I'd ever been in my life. It was not a healthy 200, I'll tell you that, because in boot camp,
you lost it fast,
especially 6 years ago. It was a whole different style of boot camp, right? But I got out of boot camp, and that's whenever I started falling in love with lifting. The gym, like a lot of people say it, but the gym is definitely the reason why I'm not overweight and out of shape now. I started powerlifting, started hitting heavy weights, started falling in love with it.
Yeah.
Did some comps and stuff. And from there, I mean, now I've progressed all the way to, and now I want to see how good I can look naked. So
that's the goal. How good can you look in your bathroom, butt naked in front of the mirror?
Exactly. But
I mean,
I'm not quite there yet, but
I feel like I look pretty good right now.
Yeah, because you're in that running shape.
That's just me, but
that kind of leads me up to a topic that I wanted to hit on, and Jake is a perfect example of it. So you you wake up every day, you go to sleep every night, and you tell yourself you're going to wake up the next morning at 7 a.m. and you're going to be to work at 8 o'clock. And you wake up and you do that. And then your boss tells you that something needs to be done by lunchtime. You get it done by lunchtime. How come when you tell yourself that you're going to go start a workout plan this Monday, or you're going to go on that road trip, or you're going to start that YouTube channel, or whatever it may be, and then you never do it? Why do you do so much for other people and not so much for you?
Well, at the end of the day, right?
I think it's got a lot to do with respecting you. You got to respect yourself. You got to have respect for yourself as much as you do for other people to elevate yourself to the goals that you want to reach.
It comes down to self-care, right? Everybody needs those days where you take care of yourself, right?
Yeah.
Where you kind of tone out everybody. You tone out all the BS that's happening in the world right now.
Right.
And you just take it upon yourself to get better that day. And, you know, whether you start out with like doing a day a month or a day a week, soon it'll turn into where you can take a portion of a day every day and make it about yourself.
That's right.
Because at the end of the day, I know y'all both follow me on like social media and stuff, but I always post, you know, like the little motivational, like, you know, videos and everything. A big thing I believe in is just getting 1% better every day. You hear it a lot, but a lot of people don't do it. Yeah. So, I mean, just taking that day and, you know, not leaving it as a day that you, especially in like the prep that I'm in now, I can't miss a day, right? Yeah. So if I miss a day, that's a day where another guy's getting better than me, and I can't have that because I'm not going to lose, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not going into a competition with the fact that there might be a chance that I will lose. Like, I'm going to win it. That's what it comes down to.
Hell
right?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
no questions asked. Like somebody give him the medal right now. Like, he's already going to win.
Hey, look, if you're attending the same show as Jake, just kiss it goodbye.
What's it called?
It's the NPC, and it's North Carolina State. So it's in Shelby, North Carolina. But I'm telling you, man, it's you know, and there's other guys with the same mentality, but I'm not down on anybody else who's in the competition, right? But there's a different animal, you know, when it comes to certain people, and I think I have that different animal, not even in like a cocky sense, but in the sense that I've been through so many ups and downs to the point now where there's no way I won't succeed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
I seen you in the gym, bro. I think you got that dog.
Drop them high. Let's get out of
Jake,
here.
I got a question I want to ask Jake. So you mentioned like brick by brick and everything, and like my question is, with obesity and depression probably at an all-time high, especially in men right now in America, why do you think it takes people to get to their lowest point in life where they feel completely worthless, they feel like they can't do anything, to make that change? Like, it's like that's what kickstarts people. But for a long time, they live in an unhealthy manner. They live in bad mental health. But why do you think it takes them to get to that lowest point for them to finally realize, like, they got to do it?
Well, so my big thing is that everybody's scared to say something nowadays, right?
Mm-hmm.
And including myself, right? Because everybody now is entitled.
Yeah.
Even if they're, you know, like 15 years old, or if they're, you know, like 50 years old,
Mm-hmm.
right? Everybody thinks they have an entitlement, and that's not what it is, right? You're not entitled to anything.
Right.
You don't own the gym. There's no magic pill, like nothing like that. And then like another thing is, people wait until they start having serious health problems.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
They get to a point where they have like high cholesterol that could lead to heart failure or like something like that. And that's like a drastic thing. But, you know, it gets to a point where you like go to the doctor and the doctor's like, if something doesn't change, you're going to die in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
And that's what it takes some people.
Yeah.
But like a lot of people need that guy or girl to be like, come to the gym with me.
Mm-hmm.
We need to figure something out.
Yeah, it's like where do you draw the line between being nice and being real?
Yeah,
you know
and that's like, I've started coaching, you know, like a few guys. I'm doing a little less now that I'm on prep because I'm trying to focus more on myself.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I'm very straightforward. That's why I tell them from the beginning. It's like, I'm not going to beat around the bush with you. If I think you need to be on the treadmill for an hour a day, we're going to be on the treadmill for an hour a day,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you're little and you want to get big, you need to eat, right? Stuff like that. And especially now that I'm working at like Total Nutrition, I get, I mean, just the vast amount of characters I get in there daily. It's
The fact that he
crazy.
said characters, not people, but characters.
Yeah, just, I mean, because, you know, like anywhere from a 15-year-old coming in saying, hey, man, y'all sell steroids? Like, bro, like, first off, don't come in like
Does
that.
that
Like,
actually happen?
oh, yeah. It literally happened the other day.
What do you say?
Just no. I mean, because, like, 15, 16, 17-year-olds, right? Guys who don't really understand shit yet. It gets to a point where you can beat them down, but that's going to take them out of the gym,
Right.
right? It's a fine line with like young people, especially with social media and stuff nowadays. You can only say but so much because they see stuff on social media and they see these guys taking these mass amount of steroids, or these guys who have been doing this for a long period of time, who have made their bodies how their bodies are, and they think they can go in the gym and do their workouts and be like that in a month.
Yeah.
And you don't want to beat those guys up to a point where they're like, well, screw this. Like, I'm just going to stop going. But now with guys around my age, you know, like around our age, right, I'm very straightforward with them.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no reason to beat around the bush with a guy who is old enough to be a man, right? Because some guys and women need that person to be like, shut up, do the work.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Nobody cares,
For
sure.
right? But it's a daily thing, right? People don't understand that. Going back to the store, right? People don't understand that supplements, they aid your diet. They aid what you do for like your lifestyle, right? It's not a end all be all.
It's not a solution.
Yeah. So like, you know, like guys come in and get fat burners and they're overweight, and I tell them like, everything starts with your diet, right? This fat burner isn't going to do anything if you're still eating a pizza,
Right.
you know, like stuff like that. And I'm not big on like the whole eat 100% clean, you know, all the time. Like all you have to do is like an 80-20 diet, right? You don't have to sit here and eat chicken and rice every meal, you know. Just keep it healthy. Just stay on the healthier side of things.
I've got a buddy who literally for the past 4 or 5 years, lunch and dinner, he eats chicken and rice out of a Tupperware. Like, I shit you not, dog. For like the past, I was his roommate for 4 years. Every single day, 7 days a week. He's a freak.
Look,
I don't know how he does it, but yeah, I agree. You gotta add like some.
yeah, and it's different now that I'm on prep, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm eating healthy 100% of the time. That's because I have a goal, right? And I'll tell you, there's a girlfriend sitting behind the camera over there. She can eat chicken and rice every meal and never get tired of it, right?
She's the one I'm talking about. I have no idea how they do it.
Yeah, she can never get tired of it, right? But it's just, I mean, even now, like I'm in my prep and it's like, bro, I can't do this. Like chicken and rice every meal. Like I switch it up. Like I've been making healthy pizzas.
Mhm.
I've been making stuff where, you know, you can have healthy food and make it look like it's bad food, right? Like there's ways around stuff. Like everybody, social media is such a hindrance on the gym and dieting to a point where like you just can't, if you want to do something, you might as well stay off social media. I mean, because you're going to see so much stuff up there about like, don't eat any cheese, don't eat bread, don't, you know, drink only water, like stuff like that. And it's like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that stuff to be healthy.
Yeah,
But
social media definitely puts like there's this huge gray area in fitness and lifting and all when it comes to social media. I mean, they just, if you want to look like this and bench this and squat that, this is what this is the workouts I do. Bull crap.
yeah.
If you benching 495, you taking something behind the camera that you're not telling me about.
Yeah. And there's a lot more guys nowadays who are very open with
Yeah.
like steroids, right? It's becoming a more prominent thing where guys are coming out and telling their cycles and telling what they do, which I think is very like beneficial
Yeah.
for like the gym community on like social media, right? Because it shows that, these guys who are claiming they're all natty and like stuff like that they're not. Like I can look at somebody now that I've been in the, like fitness industry long enough to where I'm like, okay, like you're taking something, right? Like you're on something. It might not be anything crazy. Like they might be running like a TRT style of test, right?
Yeah.
Where they're literally running like 250 mgs a week, which is like the baseline, right? But what people don't understand is that 250 mgs a test is 5 times your normal test.
Yeah.
Right. So running stuff like that, you're still going to get, if it came down to a science, you can still scientifically get 5 times bigger.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Just off of taking TRT amount of tests.
That's crazy.
And, that's, people can still say they're natural on that because you can still technically look natural while you're on that, but it doesn't work that way. Right.
Yeah.
And, the deeper I get into bodybuilding, I mean, I'll tell y'all straight up. I mean, it's to a point now where you can't compete. You can't be competitive in bodybuilding without taking something, right? And that's just how it is.
Yeah.
It's because the industry is becoming so saturated with that stuff. It's getting easier to get. It's getting easier to keep your hands on it for longer periods of time. And going back to the social media thing, the more people that come out saying they're running something, the more people are going to get on it.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. I mean, I could go on for days about this, right? It's one of them things where I don't believe that until you reach your natural peak in the gym, right? Until you've been in the gym. Like I've been in the gym for 10 plus years now, right? 10 plus years, between powerlifting all the way over to now bodybuilding, right? I've reached my natural peak in the gym, right? I've reached my natural highest level I can get in the gym.
How do you measure that though? How does one know?
I mean, so like
when they reach their natural peak?
you hit plateaus, right?
Right.
So like in your first 2 years in the gym, right? And y'all can all relate to this. In your first 2 years in the gym, you'll see your body grow like crazy.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
But after those first 2 years, you're probably gonna plateau. You're probably gonna level out. You're probably gonna get to a point where like you don't see much changes anymore. That's whenever you can start get like creatine and like stuff like that, like little like like supplements to where you can start seeing more out of it.
They'll pick me up.
Yeah. So like you'll get out of that plateau once again, but then you hit 4 years, 5 years in, you'll start plateauing again, right? That's whenever people generally start going towards like SARMs and like stuff like that, right? But I mean, I've been 8 to 10 years in, and it's to a point now where I've been at my peak now for probably like 2-3 years, right? Like I've been to a point where unless I wasn't taking SARMs, like I'd be pretty much the same level.
Yeah.
Right. It gets, and like seeing 17, 18, 19-year-olds who are running, trend, gear, stuff like that. It's become more prominent now where you're seeing bodybuilding guys die at 30, 35 years old.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm going balls to the wall with this, right? Like I'm 100% in for this bodybuilding stuff.
Hell yeah.
But also it comes to a point where you got to look out for your own health. It's because, I want to live a full life. I don't want to sit here and be my liver and heart not functioning at what it's supposed to be, at like 35 years old. I mean, I'm 25 already, and just straight up, like I'm about to start my first cycle soon. And like it's to a point now where like I'm not running anything crazy, right? Like I'm not, there's no way, like, because I've done my research on stuff.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I preach, SARMs, steroids, anything like supplement wise, do your research.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
don't go into something blind, because at the end of the day, salesmen are salesmen, right?
Yeah.
Even at the shop, right? Like, it's to a point where if somebody says, stack me up with something, like, it's a sell for me, right? So, like, I'm not going to give me anything crazy, but, like, I'm going to give them, like, some rad and something, give them a little bit of kickstart.
Yeah.
But I always tell them, I'm like, look, do your research first. Like, you don't ever know. Like, everybody's body's different, stuff like that, you know. So
We had Tim Schumann on a couple podcasts ago. He's the owner of IBX Nutrition here in Washington, and he said the same exact thing. Biggest thing that you need to do before starting anything is
do your research.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know a guy on? Yeah, he's famous from Instagram. His name is Dylan McKinnon.
I don't know if top of my head.
I think he's around our age. He's like maybe my height, 5'11", 6 foot, somewhere around there. But he took steroids, and the dude got jacked. He did a men's physique. He won first overall. But he was open about his steroids, and he literally had a plan set out with his doctor about steroids, like what he should take. And he was telling everybody, like, I'm not just out here injecting myself like with a stupid amount of steroids. He was like, I'm doing this the smart way. He was like, I mean, taking steroids, you know, everybody can have their own opinions about it. Some people think it's terrible. Some people think it's good for whatever they want to do. But I mean, he had a whole like set plan with his doctor, and it was just like he put it out on his workout plan or PDF, wherever he had. But it was so in depth and detailed, and I was amazed by it, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, so like what people don't understand too is that as long as you like go to your doctor and you get blood tests done, right? Everything comes back good. You can most time go up to your doctor and be like, hey, I'm taking bodybuilding seriously. I want to know what can I take that won't hurt me in the long run, right? People are so scared to come out and talk about steroids, talk about the fact that it's a prominent thing now, and you know
nobody wants to even bring it up.
Yeah, so like I said before, right? It's getting to a point which I love that guys in social media are coming out and saying, I ran this for this long, I ran this for this long. Yeah. That way it kind of opens people's eyes to be like, maybe it's not as bad as everybody's making it out to be.
There's that one guy like on TikTok that goes around asking bodybuilders at shows,
are you natty or not?
Are you natty?
Yeah.
And I was actually surprised at how many people were like straight up honest and like immediately just said, yeah.
There's a guy that I see on my TikTok a lot. He's massive guy. He's a pro bodybuilder. He does classic physique. He's 28 or 29. If anybody asks him a question about a cycle, like he'll lay out all 12 weeks of exactly what he ran. And like, you know, and the things with that too is that there's a lot of young kids that don't understand what the terms are, right? So like you got hundreds of terms in like steroids, because I mean you have to run AIs on cycle, right? Because all this stuff is hepatotoxic, right? It can always damage your liver, stuff like that. So like you're not just running, just for example, right? You're not just running test, trend, and then like PCT, right?
Right.
Along with that test and trend, you have to run stuff like Mastron. You got to run stuff like Clomid. Like people don't realize that these pro bodybuilders, they put thousands of dollars in their body just to get to where they want to get to. And sometimes it works, and sometimes those guys die really young, right? Yeah. But the guys who die really young are the guys who don't go and get help. Don't go out to other people who have taken steroids or to their doctors and say, hey, I'm going to run this. How is it going to affect my body? And those are the guys who get hurt in the long run.
Yeah, I keep it real with you guys. I tried SARMs when I was like 18 years old. I got really strong really quick and then stopped taking them, lost it all, ain't touched them since. I mean, I'm stronger now than I was then, obviously, but it ain't worth it. Unless you're doing what Jake's doing, it ain't worth it.
It's a live and learn experience, right? I'm a big believer in, you know, you live and you learn, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You do stupid stuff and you learn from it, right? Or you do smart things and you learn from it, right? It's one of them things where, you know, all three guys who work in the shop, we are very knowledgeable about SARMs and steroids, right? And we'll tell you exactly what you need to run to stay on the healthy side of things.
I know, dude. Every time I go in there, y'all are like talking a whole nother language, and I'm like, shit.
So I mean,
need
like,
no more.
and it's stuff like, you know, people don't understand that there's a reason why you run a PCT, which is a post-cycle therapy, right? The reason for a PCT is to keep that size on, keep that strength on, right? And a lot of the younger kids, they go in there, they run their cycle, and they just stop. And then they start getting gyno, and then they start getting all this stuff going wrong, and then they're like,
You think that's what my problem was? I just
probably
cut it off clean.
Probably. I mean, because like at the end of the day, you do have non-suppressive SARMs, but most of the SARMs are suppressive, so they'll mess with your hormones, right? So if you don't run a PCT, I mean, you're more or less probably gonna go back to how you were, and that's just how it is, because it's an unnatural thing in your body, right? Anything unnatural in your body, if you don't do the right stuff afterwards, you're gonna lose it all.
Yeah.
And if you look at the back of any SARM bottle, any steroid bottle, it says for research purposes only. It's not approved by the FDA. It's not approved by any major, you know, market or anything. So all this stuff is at your own discretion. You can't complain to anybody. You can't do anything. It's all on you. And, you know, that's what sucks for some people is they learn the hard way. But I'd much rather people learn that way than them start off taking steroids and them take Tren or gear and then they die. Right?
Yeah.
So
negative consequences.
I mean, yeah. So, but
Yeah, you guys need to do your research.
yeah,
For real.
Do your research because it's not something to play with.
Hey, well, look, on a lighter note, we're gonna switch it over and we're gonna play a quick game. Jake, cue the game show music.
Da 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 da.
We're gonna play rapid fire. Would you rather? Gym edition.
All right.
And I haven't read these, so this is the first time I've read them. All right, you ready? Here we go. Would you rather constantly smell pungent body odor every time you set foot in the gym, or never be able to shower after working out ever again?
I do body odor.
Okay.
Bro, I gotta shower. I shower like 2-3 times a day most time.
Would you rather get an unpickable wedgie every time you try to exercise, or work out forever without being able to use headphones?
That's rough.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. A wedgie? Oh, I'd say wedgie. Dude,
Yeah,
I gotta
but
have.
keep in mind, it's unpickable.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
you got to go
Dude,
home and
if you're
take your
moving to
pants off.
Texas, just go to Alpha and they got music bumping.
Music. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'd probably go no music.
You
for
probably
sure.
get used to the wedgies over time, though.
Yeah. I mean, hey, look, that's how
Just
most
start wearing
girls
a
wear their
G-string.
leggings now, anyways, right? So I mean, hey.
Speaking of the leggings,
Oh yeah, little plug.
We got new
Anyways.
leggings dropping. We don't have a date yet, though, man. It's coming soon. The date's coming.
Coming
We
soon.
do have new
the
women's
new
leggings.
new style. Y'all
A whole
see.
bunch of different colors. It's going to be hot. Anyways,
Follow
back to the game
Swolemate
show.
on Instagram.
That's right. And Jake, plug yours. What's yours? Follow
It
my
is
man Jake.
j.wright44. My old Instagram got hacked because some old lady said I was doing public nudity. So I need to get my followers back up. So
Man,
I would
what-
be much
You
appreciated.
need to stop posting naked pictures.
That was a Karen.
Where
right
can I
there for
search these
sure.
pictures up at?
Back to the game show. Jake,
OnlyFans.
would you rather forever exercise drenched in someone else's body sweat, or forever exercise while smelling someone else's protein farts?
Oh, I do body sweat all day. Dude, my protein farts are rough.
Bro, after eating some eggs, bro, if I go to the gym after eating eggs, dude, it's over. for
Dude,
me and
drenched
everybody
in-
else.
No, I don't know, man. I'd
Dude,
probably pick farts, dude.
Those Lynn and Larry protein cookies. Y'all ever had those?
Mm-mm.
Look, man, don't look. If you want to be around a girl, don't eat one of those. Don't eat one of them.
Mess you up.
No, yeah.
Jake, would you rather forever work out at a gym where no one showers or uses deodorant, or forever work out at a gym that only has treadmills?
No deodorant all day. Yeah.
Is that even a gym?
It's just like a high school weightlifting room right there.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
just a
literally.
waste of space. You can run outside.
That's kind of how Champions is, anyways, right? all the treadmills in the front, nobody uses.
For real.
Last one, Jake. Would you rather belong to a gym where no one ever clears the racks and puts the weights back in the right place? Champions.
Yeah.
Or belong to a gym where everyone corrects your form and refuses to leave you
I
alone?
do the weights all day. I mean,
I hate when somebody
yeah.
comes up and wants to talk for like 10 minutes, there's one person that I have in mind. I ain't gonna drop any names, but me and you both, you know who I'm talking about. Probably not right now, but
I got 2 people in mind.
Yeah,
every time I see him in the gym, it's like a 15-minute adventure, man.
Dude.
I can't get out of it.
Boy, it's an adventure.
I'll tell you, like, working in the shop now too, bro. If I go in the gym, like, I have to keep my headphones on or I'm talking. Like
Bro, every time I see you
Look.
in the gym, dude,
dude,
I'd be so scared to talk to you.
dude, she gets so mad, right? Because like in between sets, like people will walk up behind me and like stand there until I'm done, and then they'll be like, "Hey, bro," I'm like, "Dog, I'm just working out. Like we can talk whenever else you want to. Like not
shoot
right
me
now.
a DM on Instagram.
Like, look,
or
I will
something.
always dap people up, you know, like give them knuckle touches. But like if the conversation starts lasting more than like 2-3 minutes, I'm just gonna slowly start fading away back into the crowd.
Any
'cause I ain't got-
encounter in the gym should be, "Hey, how you doing?" and keep it going.
Yeah, just keep it going.
Keep it going.
That's how it should be.
Yeah. I need to work on that.
Well, we can. Last thing I want to cover before we wrap things up, I'm gonna ask you one question, Jake. You can share your advice to anybody listening to this. If you could go back and look at your 16, 17-year-old self in the mirror, what would you tell him? What kind of plans would you give him for the next few years of his life?
That's a tough question. I would definitely tell him, like, don't listen to everything you hear, right? I don't think anybody expected the turn that social media and everything would have on everybody.
Yeah.
Not so much me, right? I could care less about what everybody thinks, but back in the day, there was definitely, you know, overweight Jake, you know, 350-pound Jake.
Overweight Jake.
There would definitely be times where self-consciousness, you know, people saying negative things, you let it affect you really bad. But, you know, like a lot of those people that were talking shit back then, they're the ones overweight now, right?
Yeah.
That's
so,
right.
I mean, that's how it is. I mean, you know, you don't ever talk down on somebody unless they truly, you know, like deserve it, right?
Yeah, I agree.
And you know, I'm never the one in the gym either. If there's somebody in there working out, they're trying to get better, right? That's what it comes down to. Do I
Stay humble.
believe they could be doing different things to get less overweight? Yeah, but at least they're still in the gym, right?
Yeah.
At least they're still sweating. That's what it comes down to.
I love seeing an overweight person in the
I mean,
gym.
honestly, if I could go back and tell my 16-year-old self, well, that was only like 5 years ago, my 13-year-old self, invest in Tesla.
Yeah,
Invest in Tesla.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, I'd be rich.
buy some Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah. If I could go back to 16,
You know how rich I'd be right
Bitcoin,
now? I'd be rich and famous.
My whole paycheck would be going into Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Didn't Bitcoin just crash or something?
Yeah,
So I'd stop keeping track.
I
of the
would have told
market.
myself
I
to
did
pull it out about a year and a half ago, 2 years.
Yeah, I tell you, man. One thing, you know, the U.S. as a whole, people need to stop caring so much what other people think. I mean, that's a big thing nowadays, right? You know, it's to a point now where, you know, people are scared to go outside. People are scared to go to the gym because they're so afraid of what people are going to say, because everybody has these little things in their hands now that they can talk and post pictures and do whatever they want to,
for
right?
Sure.
And I'm pretty sure there's, you know, people talking shit about us every day, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just a matter of, you know, blocking out noise and blocking out stuff and just doing your own thing.
One thing that me and him talk about all the time is we talk to each other and we're like, how many people do you think that we're sitting here talking to, and they're like hyping up our clothing brand and what we got going on, and then the second we turn away, the next person they're talking trash, like, you know, look at these dudes over here.
Yeah, man.
Doing
I mean,
nothing, you know what
look,
I'm saying?
y'all, I give y'all credit, right? Like y'all been sticking with it. Because I've seen a lot of
Duking it
people.
out.
I've seen a lot of people start brands, start supplement brands, clothing brands, right? And
you know, and I don't. It may just be me, but I think what I picked up was when we started Swolemate, it's like everybody else, like all the other clothing brands and stuff that I've started seeing on Instagram, like locally especially, have just started to pile up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if we just like caught the front end of a wave.
That's
or
how
what,
it is, man.
but
Trends happen, and y'all are definitely starting a trend because I've been seeing a lot of stuff start popping up lately.
Yeah.
But
it ain't nothing like Swolemate. You can get the gear at SwolemateAthletics.com. That's athletics with an IX on the end instead of an ECS. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jake.
No, you're good.
It's
You're good.
ICS, by the way, not ECS.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
But it's IX.
IX.
Yeah,
Either way, it's
IX.
IX.
Yeah.
Thank you for correcting me. I'm a
But
dummy.
yeah, man, I give y'all credit. Y'all, I've seen so many people start stuff and then they do like a drop and then they don't get what they want from it and they're just done with it.
They quit.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the old saying, right? Like Rome wasn't built in a day. Like, I mean, it's the same thing. Anywhere from bodybuilding to brands to anything, right? You can't just go in somewhere and expect to get a payout the first day.
Yeah. And like we still have, like, to this day, we still have a lot of the inventory left from the first original drop that we made last November.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, like, me and Jonathan don't make any money off of this. Literally every single penny that we get in goes right back into it to the next order.
Yeah.
So like we're really, why I say that is we're really trying to snowball that up, get it. We're trying to make it as big as big as it can get.
All it takes, especially nowadays, all it takes is one little social media post, right? Somebody big and famous orders something, and that's going to be the big payoff right there.
I mean, I don't know if you've paid attention, all the inventory is in my house, so I usually package it up, print out the UPS label, so I see it often. Our last 10 orders.
We've got a lot going to Florida.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Others, and we've had Florida, we've had Michigan,
New Jersey.
but that's like new.
Yeah.
So
brand new. So it's just starting to kick off.
It's
just that's
that's
like
good.
all within the past 2.
Like when you
2-3
see
weeks.
like Greenville, Raleigh, Wilmington, Aiden,
You're like,
whatever,
yeah, cool, yeah.
it's like cool, yeah. But when you see another state, dude, it's like a feeling I didn't know that like made me excited. It's so cool and humbling, and like if whoever, like everybody who starts brands doesn't have to be a clothing brand, but a brand in general or business, like it's tough, it's hard, and like everybody who's been sticking to it, like props, because this is hard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat y'all are, on a completely different scale, right? Like I've been doing online coaching, it's like training and stuff like that.
Yeah, by the way, hit up Jake for all your coaching needs.
Yeah, I'll get y'all set up. But it's tough, man. Cause like I have this type form, right? It's like a survey. So you can click the link in my bio on my Instagram.
I've seen it. I've done it.
And you can go up there and you can see like all the like stats behind it, right? And I think yesterday I checked it and I had 310 starts and I had 27 finishes, right?
Nice.
So there's been 310 people started, but only 27 finish it.
Yeah.
And you look at that and you're like, what am I doing wrong? Like blah blah blah. Like a lot of times, it's people that are just clicking on something, or it's people that accidentally click on something, or it's people that read that they got to answer a couple questions. They're like, no, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, once you sift through all that and same thing with like clothing brands, right? Once you get past all the people that like support you and like all the people that are like, yeah, man, keep doing your thing, blah, 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 you start realizing who the fake people are and who are the ones that are actually going to be buying your stuff and, stuff like that. Right.
I've got, we have strangers that have bought and spent more on Swolemate than most of our
best friends,
close friends.
Close friends, best friends, best friends, whatever.
And
entire friends.
And the things with that too is like the whole like best friend thing, right?
Yeah.
They expect to get free stuff.
That kills me, bro.
Same.
I talk so much junk to him. Like not to him, but I vent to him. People do it to us all the time.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, and it's the same with training, right? Like I'll have guys come up to me in the gym and be like, "Hey, man, I need like a 4-week plan." I'm like, "All right, well, I did my survey online. I got like people waiting." And he's like, "No, I mean, like I just need something quick." I'm like, "Nah, bro. Like I get we're cool, but like I'm not gonna let you skip past everybody else because
for sure,
like you're one of my homies. Like you know what I mean?"
A business is a
Can I
business.
get a quick 4-week? No,
yeah, but it's like it's one of them things where, just because you're my homie doesn't mean that I don't care about this random person either.
Yeah,
right.
You're my homie. You should want to pay full price for your product to support me to be able to succeed.
And it's not like you see all these social media people now charging $300-400 a month for like plans.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, I'll tell you straight up, it's like copy and paste plans. They just put your name at the top and then they send you the same thing that they sent the last person, right?
Yeah.
I don't believe in that. Like, all my stuff is $50 or less, right? And
You sit down and actually write them
yeah,
out.
I spend time, right? Because while I'm working, I'm literally sitting on my computer.
Yeah.
So I have time. Damn. It's just a matter of, finding the right clientele. That's the biggest thing.
10 weeks, you got a show.
Mm-hmm.
After Thanksgiving, because it's right around Thanksgiving, so I say the first week of December, we're going to regroup, have a part 2.
Let's do it.
After the show.
Sounds good.
We also are going to keep up with physique updates because,
Yep.
I mean, bro, you're already jacked. What's your – just give me your bench, squat, and deadlift max right now.
Shit, I haven't done it in like a month, but last time I did it, I hit 505 on squat. I hit 610 on deadlift, and I hit 375 on bench ish.
See, yeah,
1485.
you are him.
I mean, so that's
up there.
that's like little numbers compared to like the powerlifting days. I used to be able to deadlift like almost 8, but now I mean,
we are a lot leaner now.
yeah, I mean, like bodybuilding is a whole different aspect, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't go over the 100-pound dumbbells. I don't do anything heavy, right? Because my joints from the Marine Corps is just not this how it used to be, right? Also you gotta look out for your body, and half of the bodybuilding aspect is posing, anyways, which has definitely been the hardest part so far. Spend 30 minutes a day just sitting there trying to vacuum or trying to, get my legs and my torso and my arms working at the same time. It's a whole job, but at the end of the day, I had my time with the powerlifting. Definitely like bodybuilding a lot more. Definitely feel more athletic overall. Because powerlifting, you just kind of leave the gym feeling sore as shit every day, and it's not really worth it. But
so speaking of being sore, I did front squats 2 days ago. My whole my whole bottom half, man. I've been struggling. And I haven't felt like this in a while.
Yeah, I've been doing some, because you know how you get that like new spark in the gym every now and then, right? Like, you kind of hit like a low period in the gym, and you just kind of like half-ass some workouts, stuff like that. Man, the last couple of weeks I've been tearing it up, like leaving the gym feeling terrible, but at the same time feeling like a whole different person, right? It comes with, I said anybody, if you need like a jolt in the gym, just find a new goal, right? Like you're doing a marathon, that's a new goal, right? I mean, it might not be gym related, but it's a new goal.
Definitely a new goal. Definitely a goal I'm ready to be done with. Holy crap.
I mean, and it's, I feel the same way. Like I'm 10 and a half weeks out, and 10 and a half weeks is a long time, but like I'm ready to go on stage tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
I mean, nothing happens overnight.
All right.
That's
right. Well, I guess this will wrap up episode 3. Big dog Jake was in the house today. So glad he came. I mean, he gave everybody great information on nutrition and working out. Like, holy crap, you just overwhelmed. Like, I got to go home and do my research, dude, because it was just so much. I mean, it was good information, but it was just like, holy crap.
I don't think you said anything the whole podcast, man.
Yeah, I did, man.
It's just me and Jake in here.
Remember what I said in the beginning? When physically I'm good, but mentally I'm washed. Do you not listen sometimes? But anyways.
Yeah, I listen all
so
the
yes,
time.
this is gonna wrap up episode 3, guys.
Keep your eyes out for the new women's leggings drop.
And we got 7 colors coming. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. But make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Follow the Instagram at Swolemate Athletix. Jake, say yours again.
Instagram is j.wright44. I don't really, care about anything else. So just make sure you follow my Instagram though.
Yep.
Jake, what kind of music you like listening to in the gym?
Man, straight rap. That's all I listen to. It's I throw in some rock days every now and then. Some like old school Nickelback. As bad as everybody trashes on like Nickelback.
Hey, bro, I was listening to Nickelback when I pulled in. What you talking about?
Hey, listen to some Nickelback in the gym. You'll be lifting all the weights. So.
You ever listen to Hardy, country music singer?
No. Is he good?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
All right.
He's like a country rock.
See, I'm not big on country. Like I have some country songs where I like it, But man, I gotta be in the mood for it. It's one of them things. You know how everybody has their moods for like music. I just, most time, because I'm a big R&B guy too. Like riding back from the beach, listen to some R&B. Windows down, sunroof open. Yeah, that's the way to go. That's the way to go.
Jake's a gangster,
That's the way
right?
to go.
He just be cruising, listening to
Yeah.
some R&B.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
well, that's it, guys. We're peacing out. Stay tuned for the next episode. We're going to have another special guest on, and we'll have Jake back on in a couple months after
Part 2.
everything, after the marathon and after the show. Everybody say peace.
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 That's a wrap.
Cool.